My name is Il Crazy, and you watching the Crazy Show. That's my YouTube channel, and it's about books, man. So, as a book lover myself, man, I spend a lot of time reading and praying. Oh, prayer's a new shit, man. Forgive my language. I used to be a rapper, man, till I found Jesus. Actually, I ran to Jesus. It's a long story. I don't have time for that, so I'm gonna be talking about communication on this video. I've even got papers, man. Don't mind the nature. It's how I get inspired, or I get my energy. So the fear goes away when I'm in nature, man. That's another story. So on today's video, I'm talking communication or communication skills. We use language to communicate, express ourselves, to get our ideas across and connect with the person to whom we are speaking to. Okay, like the Crazy Show is about books, and I'm using my language skills, what I've been learning from the books, to communicate with you, man. I don't know if you're getting that. When a relationship is working, the act of communication seems to flow relatively effortlessly. When a relationship is deteriorating, the act of communication can be frustrating as climbing a hill of sand. Oh my god. Where was I? Like, I'm trying to think of an example where we lost communication. I don't know, man, but I'm sure when you are angry and I'm not angry, we are not going to get along until somebody comes down to earth, or you can express yourself calmly even though you are angry. So when when the relationship is deteriorating, communication is also deteriorating. So we must respect each other and give each other space if you cannot communicate with that person at that particular time. So let's move on. Sending messages, verbal messages. Our use of language has tremendous power in the type of atmosphere of the oh shit our use of language has tremendous power in the type of atmosphere that is created at the problem solving table. Words that are critical, blaming, judgmental, accusatory tend to create a resistant and defensive mindset that is not conducive to productive problem solving. On the other hand, we choose words that normalize the issues and problems and reduce resistance. Sending effective messages requires we state our point of view as briefly and clear as possible. This is our opportunity to help the listener understand our perspective and point of view. Choose your words with the intent of making messages as clear as possible. Avoid jargon and unnecessary tangential information. So what I noted here when I was reading this is that I'm using jargon like the word sheet, but I'm using it when I'm communicating and when I'm sending a message, but I'm using that word sheet, which is jargon, and I don't know if my message gets crossed if I'm doing that. So when you are sending a message or when you are communicating a message to a person, try to be as clear as possible and as brief as possible. Yeah, that's how you send a verbal message. So let's continue. Effective verbal messages. A brief, clear, and organized. They are brief, clear, and organized. Are free from jargon. Do not create resistance to the listener. Those are effective verbal messages. Non-verbal messages. The power of non-verbal communication cannot be underestimated. Cannot underestimate the power of non-verbal messages. The messages we send through our posture, facial expression, and spatial distance account for 55% of what is perceived and understood by others. In fact, through our body language, we are always communicating, whether we want to or not. Through my body language, I'm always saying something, whether I want to or not. You cannot not communicate. Non-verbal messages are the primary way that we communicate emotions. Facial expressions. The face is perhaps the most important conveyor of emotional information. A face can light up with enthusiasm, energy, and approval, express displeasure. The eyes are particularly expressive in telegraphing joy, sadness, anger, or confusion. Okay, just by looking at you in your face. Oh my god, I think it's black in here. Just by looking at you in your face, I can tell like how this person is communicating. I can get the message that you're communicating to me just by looking at you. So you need to know you cannot not communicate with your body language and your face. I heard on a book that the face is the north wind. So if you are not interested in some people or in a conversation, you can show it by your face that I'm not interested. So the face is the north wind. Okay. Posture and gesture. Our body posture can create a feeling of warm openness or cold rejection. Our body is always communicating. Oh no, man, I got muscles here. Oh no, does that mean like communicate health or what? But we like the posture. Non-verbal messages. Non-verbal messages account for 55% of what is perceived and understood by others, are conveyed through facial expression as well as gesture. Paraverbal messages refers to the messages that we transmit through the tone, pitch, and pacing of our voice. I think I'm doing good here with my voice. Some points to remember about our paraverbal communication. When we are angry or excited, our speech tends to become more rapid and higher pitched. Let me repeat that. When we are angry or excited, our speech tends to become more rapid and higher pitched. When we are bored or feeling down, our speech tends to slow and take monotone quality. When we are feeling defensive, our pitch is often ab- ab- abrupt, oh man, abstract or something. I don't know. You as like the crazy show viewer, a follower, whatever you are, a reader. I don't know what to call you. You can like the word is ABRUPT. So help me out here and pronounce this name on the comments or on my Facebook page. Whatever you choose when you watch this video, just like help me on this word ABRUPT. Remember that. Paraverbal messages account for 38% of what is received and understood by others. They account for 38% of what is perceived and understood by others. They include tone, pitch, tone and pitch, and the pacing of our voice. The importance of consistency. In all our communication, we want to thrive to send consistent verbal, paraverbal, and non-verbal messages. Inconsistency can also create a lack of trust and undermine the chance to build a good working relationship. So consistency doesn't only apply when we communicate, man. Is like as a vlogger, you need to be consistent. So if you're not consistent, like I don't know, like no, like if you're not consistent in what you're doing, you will never master it. I'm gonna say that because I've been like not consistent in my vlogging. Now I'm sure I'm 20 videos behind because I lack consistency. But like I noted that I lack consistency, and I'm communicating to you that you mustn't lack consistency. So We will fix that in a later stage, or we are busy with it. Let's continue. Listening requires a high level. Oh man, where we at? Shit. Okay, I'm on a list. I'm like, where am I? I was talking about the consistency of, oh, the importance of consistency. Now I'm about to talk about receiving a message. So when you receive a message, you listen. Listening is a combination of hearing what another person says, psychology and a psychological involvement with the person who is talking. It requires desire to understand another human being and an attitude of respect, acceptance, and willingness to open one's mind to try and see things from another's point of view. So like when you listen, it's a combination of hearing what I'm saying, and also it's like psychologically you have to put yourself in my shoes. That's how you listen these days, man. So listening requires a high level of concentration and energy. Just by like listening, you need a high level of concentration and energy. It demands that we set aside our own thoughts and agendas, put ourselves in others' shoes, and try to see the world through that person's eyes. Can you do that? Can you see the world through my eyes? I wanna inspire people to start reading. Can you see that? Can you see what I'm doing for you guys? Can you see that? When we listen effectively, we gain information that is valuable to understanding the problem as the other person sees it. When we listen effectively. So like you just hear another person out. Maybe he's like the solution to your problem. Just try listening. Okay, what would you need to like to really listen? Listening requires concentration and energy. I've said that before, and it involves a psychological connection with the speaker. I'm not sure if we are connected here psychologically or not. Includes a desire and a willingness to try and see things from another perspective. Like forget yourself and listen to ill crazy right now, man. That's what is required. Requires that you will suspend judgment and evaluation. So like you like, what the fuck is this dude doing in nature? Nah, man, forget that. Listen to ill crazy. In true listening, we reach behind the words, see through them to find the person who is being revealed. Listening is a search to find the treasure of the person as revealed verbally and non-verbally. Oh my God, you should listen to me. Consequently, I can never tell you what you said, but I can only tell you what I heard. So imagine that if you cannot communicate with another person, or like you lack this communication skill, and that person is listening to you. I don't know if you're getting this message that I'm like in this video, that I'm trying to tell you a message. So imagine if I couldn't communicate with you, or I didn't have this skill of communicating. What would you say I'm hearing from this guy? Oh my God, you should like have this listening skill, man, and communication skills. Key listening skills, key listening skills, key listening skills, key listening skills. I could rap all day. Non-verbal, giving full physical attention to the speaker. You watching me right now. Being aware of the speaker's non-verbal messages, the hands, paying attention to the words and feelings that the speaker that are being expressed. I don't know what feeling am I expressing here. I think it's excitement, it's confidence, it's listening and communication skills that I'm expressing here. Paraphrasing, reflecting, summarizing, and questioning to increase understanding of the message and help the speaker tell his story. So that's how you do it, man. You listen Then you summarize what I'm saying and you ask questions to understand. So giving physical attention to the speaker. Attending is the art and skill of giving full physical attention to another person. That's attending. You forget yourself. You focus on the ill crazy or on the crazy show, man. You attending here, man. Effective attending is a careful balance of alertness and relaxation that includes appropriate body movement, eye contact, and posture of involvement. So like when you attend like with your mind, with your body. I don't know, like I'm gonna add soul just to spice it up, eh? Okay, where we at? We create a posture of involvement by leaning gently towards the speaker, facing the other person squarely. Oh my god, you watching me. Maintaining open posture with arms, like my hands are moving. I got papers here, but the video like setup is not that man. Means it's not good. Okay, it is good though. Where we at? Maintaining an appropriate distance between us and the speaker. Oh man, I made I made sure that I get this like perfect frame. I'm gonna call it that. Moving our bodies in response to the speaker, appropriate head nodding and facial expressions. I think my face is telling a lot about this video of communication. Okay, we continuing, man. Paraphrasing. A paraphrase should be brief, clear, and focus on the fact or idea of the message rather than the feeling. That's a paraphrase. Reflecting feeling. The listener concentrates on the feeling words and asks herself, how would I be feeling if I was having this or that experience? How would I be feeling as like a crazy show viewer as I was watching this video, and like, is he really giving me this communication skill or what? Summarizing. The listener pulls together the main ideas and feelings of the speaker to show understanding. This is used after a considerable amount of information sharing has gone on and shows that the listener grabs the total meaning of the message. Oh my god, when this video ends, I hope you get this message. So we're moving on to additional verbal communication tools. Oh my god, additional verbal communication tools. Questioning. The listener asks open-ended questions which cannot be answered with a yes or no. That, like, if you're asking a yes or no questions, come on, man. You know, like, there's also a why question. Like, you can ask people, why are you doing this? Why is this over here? See, like, why? You can open a question by why. But let's continue. To get information and a clarification, you can ask yes or no questions to get more information and clarification. Verbal communication tools. Paraphrasing. A brief, clear statement. That's paraphrasing. It's brief and it's clear. Paraphrasing. Brief and clear. Reflecting feeling. A statement in a way that conveys understanding of the feeling that the listener has heard. Did you hear me? Did you hear me? That's reflecting. That's reflecting feeling. If you are hearing me right now, you are reflecting a feeling. Summarizing. A state of the main ideas and feelings to show understanding. When you summarize, like after I'm done with this video, you can take notes while like you are watching. I should have said that in the beginning. Then summarize, take it, like, do a summary of what is needed or what you will like need to focus on when you are upgrading, because we are in the information age. So when you are upgrading your listening and communication skills, summarize, man, my message to you. Questioning. I think I did this, man. I did questioning. Be aware of the speaker. Be aware of the speaker is being aware of the speaker is providing non-verbal messages. When we pay attention to the speaker's body language, we gain insight into how that person is feeling as well as the intensity of the feeling. So pay attention to the words and feelings. You must pay attention. I don't know, man, but like I'm communicating right here, man, with my face, my voice, my body. Like you see my head right here. So if you are paying attention to the words and feelings, you might get the message. In order to understand the total meaning of the message, we must be able to gain understanding about both the feeling and the content of the message. If we leave the emotional aspect unaddressed, we risk missing the important information about the problem as well as the communication process. So what we do is listen to the words and the emotions, like, and the emotions, like the words they have like, okay, what am I saying? Now I'm losing communication skills. I must listen to the words of the speaker, and also like the emotions, like when the speaker says something, it, you the energy in those words, you can feel the message. So like when you feel that message talking to you, like in your soul, that's why I included soul there. So it speaks to your soul. So those, like, that's the emotion part of the message. So you listen to the words and grab also the feelings that that speaker is expressing right now. Like, yeah, I don't know what I'm expressing. It's a message that I'm expressing. Reflective listening skills. By reflecting back to the speaker what we believe, we understand, we validate that person by giving them the experience of being heard and acknowledged. Please hear me. I want to be acknowledged. So, our last page. In order to communicate effectively, we must use all three components to do two things. The three components, right? We are sending a message. So to do three things: to send a clear message, to hear and correctly understand messages messages someone is sending to us. That's like those two things that what we do, like those two things we must use to do two things. Okay, those two things. Communication involves three components: verbal messages, the words that we use, like ill crazy and the crazy show. So like I'm communicating, you're watching ill crazy and the crazy show. Those are the words we choose. Paraverbal messages, how we say those words, like I make it interesting: ill crazy and the crazy show. Yeah, man, that's how I say it. Non-verbal messages, our body language, like I was smiling, ill crazy and the crazy show, and using my hands also. These three components are used to send a clear message, receive and correctly understand messages sent to us. So that's it, man. I'm not gonna say follow me on Facebook, but search for ill crazy on Google. I'm done.